Okay, this is a time skip. I am going to time myself. I'm gonna see how long it takes me to... Let's see what I got. I just got everything packed up. My jogging shorts. This is another day. Testing magic, I guess. It's very magic, for those who don't know, is very volatile. Rather not trust it. Right, don't trust it. If life depends on it. That's why I always recommend go to school. I don't do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go pack my stuff and get out of here. So if anyone wants to know more about magic, I think you should contact Anthony Mativier if he wants to talk about it, right? That's the real secret behind the Memory Palace. It's the psionic connection. Right, he's talking about visuals that have leave a strong impact, and the only real visuals that exist are anything that you come into contact with the psion, right? He's kind of bullshitting you. So it doesn't work with some people, right? Some people have a closer connection with spirituality than others. And if you do, it allows you to memorize information within a fast amount of time, right? Gives you the processing speed of a supercomputer. Yeah, that's why the Memory Palace works, right? Because, so here's how it works. So yeah, I figured out how to make it work. And basically, whatever thoughts go in your head as you come in contact with the object, and the stronger those thoughts are, the more likely it's in contact with the sound. So the thing is, in order to have the thoughts stronger, you have to be in touch with your subconscious, right? Right? That's technically a psion by default. Right? It's the voice you hear in your head. Right? So there's a lot of psions that have been available since the Holocaust. And so a lot of people have those psions or those dead souls from the concentration camps. And they're in contact with it every day in the United States because they've been importing a lot of Germany technology. Right? The toothpaste, right? The nuclear bomb I counted as Nazi technology because, you know, Hitler let Albert Einstein escape. Right? So we definitely had a lot of tech, right? The tank, I think, was from Germany. I don't know. Whatever. All the tech got transferred to the U.S., right? There's a rule about magic. So all the tech, for all the dead people's souls go fused with the tech, right? That came from that country's origin. Right? I'm not happy about it. It's just what it is. Yeah, you're in contact with everything. So if you see ghosts and any other stuff within the supernatural stuff, chances are it's either from a private corporation or it's a psion, right? From the World War II, right? So if you ever wonder why there's a bunch of UFOs that are in contact back in the old days, anyone wonders, it's because the UFOs are actually in charge of Hitler, right? They're actually your enemies. They let you go because it was implied that Germany would take over the winning countries, right? See, the whole goal of Germany's victory is creating Philosopher's Stones. That's why they let go, because they knew they got what they wanted with the military. Because what they wanted was a Cold War. The whole purpose of Germany, Nazi Germany, was to create the Cold War. It was never to end with the Holocaust. Yeah, the news industry won't cover it these days. And there were people in the news that remembered this, actually. They're adamantly opposed to the UFOs. Try to fight back, right? And the UFOs are like Emperor Valkorion. They just Sith lightning them. They died off. Right? It's like, I think one of the Queen colony planets of Nibiru was like, well, you choose oblivion then, right? A lot of these journalists end up dying off. They could have just played the waiting game, but a lot of them don't want to fight back. Right? The aliens can morph, right? They're the slugs, right? They fought against a giant slug and it morphed into a human. Yeah, these things are the Nibiru aliens are very deadly. They created so the UFOs in World War II try to create so their attempts were to take over the East. That was the whole point of the first two world wars. And to integrate the US within, to put them in the fold, right, of the Veil, right? You ever heard of Game of Thrones? So actually the whole purpose of the two world wars was to get US trapped. The US was actually a lot more powerful before World War I, right? In terms of for the rich, they got a bunch of feedback loops to get the rich richer. That was the whole purpose. Yeah, they were like quintillionaires back then. That's why they were threatened. The UFOs wanted to gain more strategic more. Now, it's true the military wasn't strong enough, but they could buy off the other militaries really easily. So the military actually got weaker after World War I, and it's been getting weaker since. So what the context was missing was that because they could protest so effectively, like they're willing to go through another Great Depression just to sink another country. They were that OP back then. No one wants to talk about it anymore because they used tarot cards to start purchasing. So the tarot cards were basically their version of Amazon. They basically can purchase any standing army. They can't do that no more because they opted for an easier life to coast by. So a lot of the rich people that created that infrastructure decided to cash out, right? And that's for the first two world wars, right? They set it up with the Austrian diplomat. They all gained killing the Jews, right? No one wanted to talk about it, right? There were a lot of ruling families like, you know what? I'm ready to cash out. Get my quintillions. Because the quintillion at the time was not in resources. They wanted actual cash so they can get the fuck out of here. And a lot of the poor people in the Dust Bowls were in on it, right? Because they wanted so the whole prize of politics is to get a Silicon Valley tech job. It was not politics. It was always cheddar. So they all engaged in it because like, well, I'm never going to get that fucking manufacturing job. I might as well kill some people to get there. And no, I am not fucking running my own business. Fuck you guys. World War I, here we go. That's why I always said people would start wars, right? People joke about that. I don't know, the people I hang out with. Yeah, people start wars to avoid starting a business. Right? Why do you think Genghis Khan was out? He was basically the CEO, right? And his soldiers were his employees. Fuck, I'm out of here. No one wants to start a business. That is what the two world wars are predicated on. No one wants to start their own fucking business, okay? You'd rather just kill someone else instead. Right? That's right. No, seriously, have a conversation. Like, you want to start your own startup? Like a legitimate one for 30 minutes. See how much people freak head the fuck out. That is what the first two world wars are predicated on. No one wants to start a business, so they want to restructure, right? to force certain people to start it for them instead. It's just to get the royal bloods to actually move. That's the whole purpose of the world wars, right? Right? You notice that new royal families start moving up, right? Starting business reluctantly, right? Right? Because they make money. They don't want to. So what happens in world wars is that the royal families have to pull out more money to invest in troops that otherwise don't have to. Right? They're forced to take on more responsibility to make more cheddar, right? That's the key here. Oh, they get richer. Don't get me wrong, but the employees get more. They're forced to start more business instead of them. That's kind of the goal here. It's like, well, it's what it is, right? No one really wants to be a military contractor, by the way. Right, Bush, ask him, do they really want to? Sure, it makes more money. It's like, well, it's just what it is. That's what it ends up becoming. Yeah, you become a crime syndicate. You don't want to be, right? But the people pressure you. That's what I started out with. Bush was probably like some sort of banking clan or something, right? Not worth the cheddar is the right answer. Yeah, the poor people are like, no, I don't want to start my own. I refuse, right? Absolutely not, motherfucker. Yeah, no one wants to start. You see those tips? That's like the kiss of death right there. Just go to a bunch of college, like, you want to all start your own company? Right, guys? See Obama Harvard Convention graduate speech. Right, guys? Fuck that. Oh no, I'm here to be an accountant. Let me go purchase the Second Amendment. I'm triggered. I'm very triggered if you ask me to start my own company, rich guys. Help me someday in life. Yeah, don't worry. This is worse than politics. The whole point of politics is so you don't have to start your own business to survive. That's the whole point of politics. So the political leaders all get bought off, right? But I mean, that's the whole point, right? The assumption is he helps pull you up. Get a nice, positive cash flow job. Now you heard that truth. Now you feeling, I don't know anymore. I don't know. It sounds painful to live. That's why you start movements. How my Democratic Party became the next Fortune 500, right? They used to have more tales about that. Yep, you know it's true. You just don't want to think about it. Now, what would you tell yourself? Oh yeah, back then we went through great hardship, because you know you have to lie about that. Because if the rich people get clean, all of a sudden they're going to close those jobs, right? You have to lie about that, right? Oh, I went from a great, we went through a lot. We scrounged pennies. Now, how they know how to lie about it? The guy who sells the first story gives you a wink and a nudge. Feynman figured it out. He just doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Everyone was Dan Locke back then. It's a fantastic reality. Anyways, I'm going to end this.